Well, hello there. Good Sunday morning, everyone. It's 21 News Chief Meteorologist Eric Wilhelm here. An interesting Sunday unfolding. Hopefully, you remembered to change your clocks last night. Falling back, the sunrise this morning was a little before 7 o'clock. The sunset this evening will be at about 5:15. I tell you, it's dark out there right now, though, as I record this, a little after 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time this morning. We have a band of showers and storms pushing through. These have weakened some over the last half an hour or so, but still drop some rain. You might hear some claps of thunder here as we go through the 8 o'clock hour. These will then kind of come and go, and we're going to be left with a much warmer and more humid afternoon. That'll set the stage for the possibility of some heavier storms later on today. Here's the setup across the region. I've got the dew points plotted up, kind of a measure of how much moisture is in the air. And a lot of moisture is in the air off to our south and west. Notice that the highest dew points are kind of pooled right through here, and this, no coincidence, is going to be the same area we're going to be watching very carefully for the best chance of severe weather later on today, lower Ohio River Valley. That being said, some of this higher moisture is pushing north and east, and our 50s dew points will be replaced by 60s dew points later on today, kind of priming the pump a little bit for some showers and some storms. Once again for us across northeast Ohio and into western PA as well. Let me take off the dew points and show you that the Storm Prediction Center does have an enhanced risk of severe weather, where you see the orange color right here. This is where the highest risk of severe weather is. We are in the category below that. We call it the slight risk, but I'll tell you, I think what's going to happen today is you're going to see this area shift. You're going to see the Storm Prediction Center probably shift the slight risk to be more. Let me grab my, let's see if I can erase my telestrations here. Sometimes it'll let me erase, sometimes it won't. No, I don't think it's going to let me. Oh well. I think what you're going to see is the Storm Prediction Center kind of trim the slight risk out of far northern Ohio and maybe expand it in the southern area down into parts of Kentucky and West Virginia. I think you're going to see the enhanced risk be more aimed like this. The reason for that, there we go, now I can erase. So again, I think we're going to be taken out of the slight risk at some point this afternoon, at least areas north of Youngstown. Now, from Youngstown on south, we may stay in the slight risk, but wouldn't be surprised if the slight risk looked more like this later on today. And the reason I'm taking time to point this out is I think our severe weather risk is lowering as we get closer to this event and we have more information available to us, starting to think that the threat for damaging winds, large hail, isolated tornadoes will be much more significant off to our southwest in central and western Ohio. Now, that being said, we could still see a fair amount of rain, so the Weather Service last night hoisted a flash flood watch for the entire viewing area through 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. This begins mid-afternoon today. So the threat for some heavy rain is still there. Now, let's take a look at our high-res modeling here, showing the showers and storms pushing away this morning. Right around lunchtime, I can't rule out a shower, but most of the area will be dry for a handful of hours right around lunchtime into the early afternoon. And then here comes the main event. Now, this is at 4 o'clock this afternoon. What we're seeing here is a band of pretty hefty storms. Columbus, maybe Zanesville, and maybe, parts of east central Ohio as well. But this is more just generalized rain with rumbles of thunder up here. That's at 4 o'clock this afternoon. As we go into the evening and towards sunset and beyond sunset, here's 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, there could certainly be some heavy rain around. But this doesn't look to me, judging by not only just the radar snapshot here, but also some of the severe weather indices embedded in this model, this doesn't look to me like a big severe weather threat. I can't rule it out, but I think this is more of a heavy rain threat for us than a hail and damaging wind threat this evening. Then as we go into the late evening hours, big heavy storms southeast Ohio, southwest PA, down towards I-70 and down towards Athens. But up here, just some rain. Now, this is just one model. Let's take a look at one of our other high-res models, and overall kind of the same idea, I think. As we go into the evening, look at the heavy rain, look at the heavy storm and severe weather threat to our south mostly. Columbus, Zanesville, Cambridge, closer to I-70, maybe over towards Pittsburgh. And while, again, I can't rule out some heavy gusty storms, can't rule out severe weather here, I do think the threat is higher to our south and west. But it certainly is going to rain, and again, it could rain a fair amount. Here's a look at our latest computer modeling here, clustered between 1.5 inches and 2 inches of rain, so the flash flood watch is warranted. You know, it's fall and the leaves are dropping quickly now. So if your drains on your street are clogged with leaves, if your gutters are clogged, take advantage of the few hours of dry time right around midday today and clean them out, because some heavy rain falling this evening, if we get 1 inch to 2 inches of rain this evening into the overnight and you've got some clogged drains and sewers, then there could be some problems. It is going to cool off after the rain leaves early tomorrow morning, back to 40s mostly for highs this week. In fact, the end of the week could be quite chilly. There's some model disagreement at the end of the week as far as how chilly it will get, but it's possible it'll be this cool, no higher than the lower 40s during the day. All right, meteorologist Andrew DiPaolo is in the studio this morning on WFMJ Weekend Today. I'll be in for AJ later on today, so you'll see me on TV this evening at 6 and 11. Of course, I'll have you covered with Facebook Lives and all sorts of information online, on the air, on the app, wherever you want to find your weather information. I will have it for you later on today. In the meantime, enjoy your Sunday.